We are on, and it is our call with Michelle tonight, talking about time management and how to fit it all in, making it all happen no matter what. So we start our calls in the same way, 1 or 2 words describing something in your life currently that you are grateful for. I'm going to ask you guys to unmute, please, and then we'll start with Marcia.
Of course you're starting with me. I am going to pick family this week.
Okay, Alyssa.
Treat day.
I saw your bloomin' onion. Michelle.
I'm going to go with friends.
Friends. Rachel.
Being in nature.
Nice. Your pictures, the mules?
Yeah, I know.
That was amazing. All right, and I'm going to cheat. I'm going to do 3 words. Back to school. Okay? All right, so without further ado, we're going to turn it over to Michelle. Michelle, do you know how to screen share?
I think so.
Okay, perfect. Just a little icon in the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. Oh, you're all muted. I'm the only one who's not. I'm going to mute myself. Take it away.
All right, I'm going to try a screen share. Hopefully it works. Okay. Everyone can see it? Yeah? Okay. All right. I'm sorry if I'm a little nervous. Okay. So, making time for you, how to meal prep efficiently and get that workout in because so I like memes, so get ready. All right, so first half is getting the workout in. When someone tells me they can't make time to work out, because you can. So number 1, find what works for you. Not everyone is a morning person. And not everyone has energy in the evening. So you gotta find what works for you. I personally know that if I wait until the evening, half the time it won't happen. So I make sure that I get up in the morning and get my workout done, but I know others can't get up in the morning and they do better in the evening or after work or after school. So find what works for you and then just stick to that. Keep at it, even when it's tough in the beginning, because eventually it will become a habit. It takes 21 days for a habit to form and then 2 months for a habit to become routine. So you got to figure out what works for you, and once it starts to work, just keep at it because it'll eventually become kind of your new normal, which is what worked for me, at least just speaking from, just recently. I wasn't allowed to work out when I was pregnant with Allie, so getting back into a routine was hard for me, but once I went back to work, I started 80 Day at the same time, so it just became my new normal. Don't work out alone. Find a friend to work out with or an accountability partner. So, you could do a Zoom call with them, you could FaceTime with them, or just have someone, text you in the morning to make sure you're up. Give yourself a boost. Energize, energize, energize. I know we all love it, we all drink it, we use it, it's amazing.
Hey, Michelle, I don't want to interrupt. Can you go back a slide, though?
Yeah.
Can you, for some of the people who may not be using Energize, can you talk a little bit about what that is and what that looks like for you on a daily basis?
Yeah, so Energize is Beachbody's pre-workout. So it's amazing. It's kind of like a lemony flavor. It ranges for people how it works, but it is usually between like 15 to 30 minutes it'll start to kick in. I think other people do kind of get like a tingly feeling. I feel it in my face, sometimes in my hand, and whatnot. And typically that goes away once you start using it, but it does give you that extra little boost of energy and just kind of help for when you're working out. So it'll help you go harder, go longer, and it will kind of just get your body going.
Right. Alyssa, I know you've been studying this too. You've been looking really deep into the performance side. Do you have any quick specifics that you want to share about Energize?
Sorry, I could not get myself unmuted. So I don't know if anyone saw Samantha's post the other day just talking about some of the perks of Energize, but really there were a lot of things I didn't realize. And I haven't prepped any of the like cheat sheet type of information that I did for Shakeology. But one of the things I didn't realize was that it was plant-based and that the energy source from this is coming from green tea. And so it's a natural caffeine source. There's just so many interesting things about Energize that I didn't realize. I thought it was just a quick boost to get you going with your workout, but there were other things too. It's supposed to help with some of that soreness after a workout. It helps reduce that perceived effort. So when you're doing your workout, you're actually working out harder, but it doesn't feel as hard as it used to. So a lot of really cool things in there. We'll be learning a little bit more about them, I guess, the next time that I'm happy to lead one of those calls similar to how we did for Shakeology, because I think we could all benefit from that deeper dive of what some of those ingredients are and what the benefits are.
Yeah, we would love that. And I think for me, speaking from personal experience, I didn't try it for over a year because I had never used supplements before. I had never needed them. I didn't think I needed them, and it wasn't until I went to our coach leadership conference, our summit, and I knew we were going to be doing a big workout, and it was kind of all the hype. And I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll try it. It's probably not going to do anything anyway, these darn placebo things. And I had never had such a good workout. I mean, it really, that sounds stupid and, cliche, but it's true. And I think it really does make a big difference. And I think especially for the early morning, it's not just some sugar high and then you crash. I can skip my coffee some mornings. That's huge. I'm up half the night, but it's a really big deal. Thanks for talking about that, guys.
Yeah. I think just to kind of say what Ashley said too, I didn't start using it until I was halfway through Shift Shop, and I noticed a drastic change in the way I approached my workout once I started taking it. So I agree with Ashley. It definitely gets you going and you can work out harder and it doesn't feel like it. All right, so next. How did you feel after? Working out gives you energy and endorphins and makes you more focused during the day and a happier person. It helps relieve stress. So I need it running after my 4.5-year-old or dealing with a newborn baby. I need those endorphins. If I don't work out, I definitely feel it that day. So it's just remember how you feel, because I guarantee you feel better. Remind yourself when you start to feel like you just don't want to today, because we all have those days. Remind yourself of your progress. A lot of times if you think about how you're, the progress that you're making, it'll kind of help you push play because it's working, so you want to keep going. Just hit play. You'll feel better after, promise. Does anyone ever really regret hitting play? As Autumn says, after 10 minutes, if you still don't want to work out, stop. But guarantee you won't. You will want to keep going. I know it's not a meme, but I love this. And when all else fails, every time you miss a workout, Ryan Gosling cries. All right, so the next tab is food. Nutrition is half the battle. So how to meal prep efficiently. Plan before you cook. You have to figure out your meals prior to going shopping for food. And that includes breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, Shakeology, all of it. Don't forget any meal. Pick meals, then make your grocery shopping list. Don't deviate from your list when you go shopping. Don't go shopping hungry. I know we've all done that. Divide the list by sections in the grocery store to maximize time and ensure you don't forget anything you need. And then don't forget food for the rest of the family, because I've done that. And what I mean, this is my actual list from today with my meals and then my actual grocery shopping list. And the way that I do it is I divide it by fruits and veggies, all my dairy food, miscellaneous items, meats, frozen stuff, and kid stuff. And it sounds weird, but in my dairy section is hot dogs and hummus and stuff like that. And so I still put it in that section because I know that's when I'm going to hit it. So it just kind of helps make the whole process faster, and then I know I won't forget anything. And the way that I do it too, just another little tip, I do all my meals and then I'll do my grocery shopping list so that I make sure I'm not forgetting anything from the meals that I need. Find a day that works best. You'll time most people prep on Sundays. It is the end of the weekend, and most workout programs and weeks start on Monday. But if that's not the best day for you, find what is. I know, like, sometimes we're all traveling. We might have to do it on Monday. One thing that I've noticed that has worked for me, because I work a lot of weekends or I'll travel, is I will do like Amazon Prime or Instacart or Peapod and get the delivery delivered on Sunday. And then if I can, I'll meal prep Monday, or I'll try and meal prep still on Sunday. But getting those groceries delivered will help alleviate some of the stress of doing it on a day that maybe is going to be already tight. Set time aside, no matter what. Just like working out, you need to set time aside to meal prep. Prepping your food is another way you're making yourself a priority. Keep it simple. When meal prepping, you shouldn't be making elaborate meals that take time and have a lot of directions. So I know when I first started meal prepping, I would find all these like fun recipes on Tasty or on Pinterest, and I'd be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna do that." And it would take forever, and I hated meal prepping. Eventually, I was like, "All right, I'm gonna saute some peppers, I'm gonna do some taco meat, and then I'm gonna do some brown rice in."
I think too, and I want to hear from you guys for this too, because I think that's my biggest thing that I hear from people sometimes is like, I don't know recipes. I don't know what to make. What do you make? Can you just make me a list of all your favorite recipes? And like, honestly, I don't do a lot of recipes either. I go to the store with like 3 proteins, 3 veggies, and a couple carbs in mind, honestly, like the good ones. I use that 21-day fix approved list, and I think about like, okay, if I get ground turkey, I can make that with like onions and garlic, and I can make that half of it with turkey, like taco seasoning. I can, there's so many, like I try to think more about
buffalo sauce, and then get in that, and then it's like a buffalo chicken ground turkey kind of thing.
Right. So it doesn't always have to be like you're saying, searching for hours just to get frustrated because the recipe calls for all these ingredients you don't feel comfortable with or you're not sure you'll like. You can pick components, and just try to combine them in different ways too. That's an option. Does anybody else have any tips with that?
I think it's having not like 80,000 recipes, but having like 5 recipes that are kind of go-to, right? So kind of to your point, like, oh yeah, recipes that work for you. But having some key ones that you're just like, okay, I can use taco meat in this, or turkey meat in this, or this one. At least I know if I get this, I can use it in a couple of different recipes that I already have.
And that's what I did to like 80-day obsession, is I had like 4 go-to like lunches, and I just cycled through them. But I made sure I cycled through them because I didn't want to get bored. So kind of once I found foods that I enjoyed, I just love keep having them basically. In the end, and like Ashley said, keep it simple. You do, you find the little things that work for you. And you don't have to eat the same foods over and over again.
Mom, go ahead, Marcia.
I'm sorry. One thing that really helps me too is I like keeping it simple, and sometimes I just don't want to think about it. But you've got to prepare, and you got to be ready. So a lot of time, or all the time actually, I track what I have. Like say for this 8-week program we're doing right now, I've got 4 weeks worth of, I have a tracker sheet, and I write down what I've had every day, and I can revert back to these lists and say, oh, I forgot about doing an egg scramble like this and this, and there's a recipe right there ready that I know was simple and worked for the meal prep and the program also. That, and then another thing is when you get into the habit of meal prepping, you start finding things, you just start trying different things with leftover ingredients that you have. I have tried so many different things in egg scrambles and little stir fry things that it's opened up a whole new world, just trying different seasonings and everything. So don't be afraid to experiment with whatever you've got in your refrigerator instead of just tossing it. Use it for something, and you might be surprised what you have.
And I think every single one of us that's on this call can talk about the repercussions of not meal prepping. We're not perfect. There have been so many times where, I do great for like 4 weeks in a row. and then I don't, and we're eating crappy. Like we're just flat out like I'm having cereal for dinner, you know, just because if you don't plan and you're not tracking, then you're not succeeding. You're either under eating or eating the wrong things or something. So I think that, or you're getting takeout, you know, and a salad from, you know, Chick-fil-A, I love them. It's better than, you know, some other things, but it's still going to be more calories and, you know, more, you know, processed stuff than what you would do at your house, especially if you're awesome like Rachel and you grow your own awesomeness to eat in your backyard.
You know, but one of the things that I think also helps for me, especially as we get into the fall and winter, is making soups, because I can freeze them individually. And especially when I was working downtown, like I would just take them to work so I could control it, and I didn't have to eat it like that week per se. But it was right there, and I could control what was going into it. And I'm a big fan of soups, so that's my go-to.
Absolutely.
All right. Great events, everyone. The next one is just variety. Kind of similar. If you're bored with your meals and aren't enjoying the food, meal prepping will seem more like a chore. So like look on Pinterest for ideas. They don't have to be hard. They don't have to be difficult, but it might trigger something for you, especially for breakfast. I know this is where a lot of people kind of start to repeat. I personally am okay with it, but I know that other people will get tired of eggs or if they don't like eggs. So I've done like carrot cake muffins before. There's zucchini bread. So there's, you know, turkey sausage, turkey bacon, that kind of stuff that you can do as well. Protein for the breakfast does not have to be egg. And also waffles are just pancakes with eggs. Tupperware. So make sure you have enough containers, Ziploc baggies, and Tupperware. I think there's a lot of chat going on. Oh, okay. So, okay. Remember, you're prepping for the whole week and not just breakfast and lunch. So that was key. Like, make sure you have enough Ziploc baggies to throw all those veggies in for your snacks, or even the Tupperware to put like the extra ground turkey in that you might not be using for your actual lunches. So you have it for, you know, later on the weekend, or maybe and once to eat it. So something like that too. Just make sure you've got enough. And those meal prep containers are key. I bought those for 80 Day Obsession, and I'm obsessed with them. But definitely get them if you're really going to get into meal prepping. I think they help a lot. Then use different types of preparation. So cook items in the oven that use the same temperatures, like veggies and meatballs. Use the stovetop and the microwave. So like you can put pasta at the same time you're boiling rice in the bag, like in a bag for the microwave. And then you can ground meats on the stovetop while cooking something in the crock pot. So like you can ground turkey while doing pulled chicken. So utilize kind of all the different options, and it'll help you go quicker. We all know that. And then this was my personal kitchen today. Like I had in the oven, I had my veggies, I had rice going, I had pasta, I had eggs, I had sausages that I was cutting, and then I had ground turkey, and then all my veggies used to be bagged over there. So I utilized everything. Don't forget portions. So make sure you're still following the meal plan and containers for the week. When picking your meals for the week, stay with the same containers for each meal period. So 80 Day Obsession really helps me kind of fully understand this, because you really don't deviate from what you're eating all 80 days. But like, always make sure your dinner is, you know, a protein, a veggie, and a starch. And then you can kind of pick 5 dinners for the week, and then flex them however you want throughout the week itself. That's like the one thing I don't prep. Like I'll make sure I have all the food and all the ingredients, and I'll utilize them kind of when we're going to be going out, or I don't want to have ground turkey like twice in the same day. But I make sure that, you know, your containers are the same for each day, because then it starts to get tricky, and then that's kind of when it starts to fall apart. Cheat days. It's okay to have a cheat meal. Thanks, Joel. But plan for those as well. Otherwise, it's a slippery slope. So you gotta kind of think about what your cheat day is going to be as well. Because if you just leave it up to chance, you're probably going to eat much worse than you intended to. Prepare enough. So So remember, it's not just about breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You have snacks too. Likewise, don't forget your weekends. Those days are as important as the weekdays. So food equals fuel. I know, again, I keep referencing it, but for 80 Day, I wasn't preparing any food for the weekend, and it was much harder for me to stick to the meal plan. So once I started kind of preparing all my lunches as well for Saturday, and sometimes Sunday, it really helps. So I now prepare 6 lunches when I meal prep. Sunday tends to be kind of the leftover day, but just kind of that's my advice. Don't forget about the weekend. Pack it. No matter how small the item is, pack it the night before. Shakeology, make it the day prior. It stays cold and icy. Trust me, I drink mine at 4:30 in the morning. I'm not going to be running the blender when all the kids and family are asleep. So I make it the night before. Usually when I'm making dinner, I stick it in the fridge and it's still good. Fat container for the day is only 10 almonds. Put it in a baggie, and then I just stick it in the fridge with the other items I'm going to grab in the morning. That way it's not wasting. I know it's only a minute, but in the morning my life is crazy and it makes it much easier. Want melon as your after workout fruit? Put that in a purple container the night before, so when you're done you can just grab it out of the fridge. Ask friends. So are you new to meal prepping? Ask a friend who is experienced to do it with you. Ask other people what they make and what works for them. You'll probably get some really good advice. You'll get some good recipes. And celebrate. Meal prepping is hard work. Give yourself props when finishing. And then enjoy. Now go and enjoy all that delicious food for the week. I love friends. And once not simply say thank you without a meme. So, hey girl, thank you. If you must.
Thank you, Michelle. So one thing I wanted to talk about with all these experienced coaches here too is snacks. I think snacks are really hard. I think we do get more likely to cheat when we are, and sitting at our desk, or like for me, when I finally get to sit down for like my planning period is at the end of a work day and it's that afternoon snack time. So what do you guys love for your like late afternoon snacks? Because I know that's where people can kind of derail in the day. What do you guys love?
I personally have been rotating through, and it's very simple, but I always have a piece of fruit. And then because I work early in the morning, I need to split my snack twice. I need to snack twice in the afternoon. So I'll do my veggie and my fat at the same time. So I'll do carrots and hummus, or sugar snap peas and almonds, and then we'll have a piece of fruit later. The go-to snacks. And I tried to be elaborate too when I did it, and it did not work. So I kept it.
I agree with you. I think mine too. I'll go with, you'll see me with banana and almond butter all the time, or a baggie of grapes. Just different things like that. Just because it's grab and go, it's you can take it anywhere. I went out with a coworker one time and she's like, "Why do you have a baggie full of grapes in your purse?" And I was like, "Don't judge me." And so I think just being prepared with that, it's just easy. It's easy to do. You can do it in advance.
I have come to really enjoy hummus. When I first started this process, Greek yogurt and hummus was like, no way, no how, never. And now I eat both regularly. And now they have so many good hummus products out there, like different flavors, that, I mean, there was this one I bought a couple weeks ago that was taco flavored hummus. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And use vegetables in the hummus, and occasionally, I'm not gonna lie, I'll get a tip or something that's organic. They have the organic corn chips. Guacamole. Michelle just posted. I take avocado and I just mash it up with a little bit of Greek yogurt, a little bit of onion, maybe some tomatoes in it. So good. Maybe squeeze a little lime juice in it, and not fattening. Take a tortilla, spread some peanut butter on it. It's really good. again, it's just like anything else. You just got to start playing around with it, and you'll come up with things. They have almonds that are flavored now. Just watch your salt content, and but you can still eat those if you just really feeling the need for something that kind of comes close to a chip or something.
Well, and I think it's easy to get cynical. I mean, when I started with my Shakeology, I was having like 2% milk because I couldn't even, and then I tried almond milk and I was like, man, maybe I can just do it with water, and like I couldn't get caught eating Greek yogurt. Like, are you kidding me? That was so weird. And now like I buy the plain kind, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I think your taste and your taste buds evolve, and over time you taste the real stuff or the hard stuff, and it just doesn't taste the same. Somebody in the group posted tonight about how their family had tortellini and she had spaghetti squash. Like, I don't even feel good after eating pasta anymore. Like, I really don't. Like, it's so heavy. I mean, occasionally, but like I regret it for sure. So it's like finding those different things, over time. None of us started doing this 6 months ago even. So it's like just being patient with yourself and making those substitutions and having that mindset for change. Rather, it doesn't all happen overnight, but it does happen. Rachel, did you have any snacks to share?
I'm a big hummus and veggie snacker. My late afternoon is definitely my danger time. And so sometimes I'll have a yogurt, but usually I want something a little bit saltier. I'm not really much of a sweet snacker, more of a salty snacker. So hummus and veggies for me.
I'm the only one.
So for me, especially if there's a day that I'm in the city and I have to train, then I will just pack them in the car and then just eat them on the way home. Because usually I'm in traffic, and it's just a good way to occupy the time, and it's already planned out in little containers.
I love it. And using those containers, I always encourage people at the beginning, because you only get one set, right? And you need like 4 veggies a day or 4 proteins a day. But so get into the habit of measuring out with a container and then pouring it on a plate. You'll know what it looks like on the plate. We've had suggestions in the group about using smaller plates. I know that's part of To Be mindset as well. But there's so many tips and tricks. It's hard to squeeze it in right now. But guys, we have like 5 minutes. Any questions before we go on any other things? Any questions for Michelle? Anything you're wanting? Okay, so Mom, go ahead. What did you want to share?
I was just going to say really quick, if you guys are confused about what we're talking about as far as the containers or anything else that we mentioned, just reach out to your coach and ask questions, because we don't want to always come to you and sound like we're trying to get you to buy or, so ask questions. The containers are really, really inexpensive. If you don't feel like committing to programs or getting the meal plan that way, of course we would love for you to, because that's where the gravy is. That's where you're going to see results, is in the products. But if you don't want to, it's $10 to buy those, and then you're set. You can, and once you get into the habit, I know Ashley, even after all this time, still uses her containers all the time. I've gotten to more where I'm in the habit of I can eyeball it pretty well. But once you see what's on your plate, it makes a huge difference. It's something clicks in your mind, because for so long I was not eating near what I was supposed to be eating, aka I wasn't losing any weight because my body was starving, and it was eating and building more fat, but that's another topic. So just reach out to the coach if you have any questions about any of the specific things that have been brought up.
And thinking too, like I was at the store, it doesn't, like, I hate to say it doesn't get easier, because the process gets easier, but like you're always going to have those temptations. You're always going to have decisions to make. I was in the store yesterday and I bought cheese and crackers for my son, and I saw, and Mom can attest to this, when I was up all night nursing, I got these little peanut butter and crackers, and oh my gosh, like I was eating them every night. Right, like eating them every night. It's like all I wanted, and I had to stop. I literally put them in my cart, and then I got halfway down the aisle and was like, I don't need it. It doesn't fit into any of my container plans, and it's a crutch for me. It's just something that I'm thinking about right now, and I'm craving right now, and that's salty stuff. And so what can I go home and make that's gonna satisfy that? So just thinking about, of course, 1 pack would have been harmless, but that was an 8-pack, y'all. I would have been doing that all week. So, just really thinking about your end goal and knowing that you need to be celebrating along the way. Because if I got frustrated and discouraged like I don't even step on the scale anymore. I can't do it, because this program that I'm doing right now is transforming me in so many other ways that let's not even talk about it. But I know that it can be it's a meal by meal decision for me. And I know a lot of people have the same relationship with this process. And so just don't give up. I mean, just really don't give up, and don't turn a bad meal into a bad day and a bad week and, all those things. The meal part is so important.
It's like that one saying, like, one bad meal won't make you gain weight, but one good meal won't make you lose it either. So don't beat yourself up if you have a bad meal, but move past it and keep eating healthy.
Right. All right, guys, 2 minutes left. Anything for the good of the group? Okay.
Have fun meal prepping.
Yeah, and please, seriously, talk to the person who invited you. If it wasn't a coach, then they know who the coach was. So we love you guys, and I hope you have a great week.
Bye.